All right, guys, let's talk a little bit about the Noose. So this thing came out about Jimmy John's and the guys that had the noose made of dough. And some of the people, including the media, are saying that was a racist gesture, that they were doing it as in a lynching, as in racism, and people are up in arms, and people are screaming about it, saying they need to be fired because they're racist and yada, yada. So people are going back and forth on it, and I thought I would just do a quick commentary on the Noose and let all of you comment in the comment section below and discuss it here some more. There's a lot of discussion going on the Jimmy John's video. I'll give you a video here, or a video here. We can continue the discussion here as well. They were from Woodstock, Georgia. I'm not saying everybody from Georgia is racist. That's incredibly stupid to say that. But I will say that it is prevalent there, that you can tell there are people there. I mean, there's racists in every state and every, all over the U.S. But when I was stationed at Fort Bragg, North Carolina, we went on a little outing, our Army unit, and we went out to the bars and the clubs. We noticed that a lot of the white redneck rebel flag guys would talk down to the black soldiers. And I don't know, maybe that's just the nature or the temperature of that portion of the United States. It's the South. And this was, of course, also I got to say, this was back in 1988, 89 when I was at Fort Bragg, North Carolina. And this is 2020. I understand. But I'm just saying Woodstock, Georgia. Okay, maybe some of it's still there. Moving on to the dough that they were playing with. Now, noose or no noose, they were playing with company product, bread dough, on company time, wearing company attire. Noose or no noose, they could have made baby elephants and puppy dogs. They, balloon animals with the bread dough. They were playing with company product that's a food item in a food service industry and posted it on social media. That alone could get that place shut down by the county health department, because they could see that post and then go down to that Jimmy John's and say, you're closed until we inspect. Because right away, these guys are handling the food and putting it around their neck and making, that alone, noose aside, that is a public health violation, and they should be fired just for that. Because that could get that place shut down. That's putting your boss and your franchisee in jeopardy of losing his establishment because you're stupid and too stupid to realize you're handling food on social media in an inappropriate manner in a food service industry. So that alone, just handling the food was inappropriate. But let's get to the Noose. And people, are saying, well, they're trying to make it racist and whatnot. I hope that you didn't think I was conveying that I believe it was racist. I didn't. I don't even remember the whole story now. But if I said it from the story, that was because that was what was reported. I myself didn't see it technically as racist. I saw it as inappropriate because they were using company product in a food service industry by handling the food in an inappropriate manner and put it on social media. And I've already went through that. The noose was not only used on blacks in the old days, it was also used on whites and Indians who were hung for certain crimes. In fact, they said Judge Parker was the hanging judge. Was he the hanging judge? I think Judge Parker was the hanging judge. And, you went there, he had to hang you because that's what the law says. And so you got hung, whether you were white or Indian or black or whatever, that's it. That's the law. No. So the noose it was used on everybody of every race. It was used for hangings. Yes, it was used for lynchings. And in certain context, it could be considered racist. I mean, if they would have said, all right, boy, you about to die here, or something like that. Okay, I could see now maybe it's bordering on racism. But I didn't hear any of them use a silly accent. I didn't hear any of them say any racist epithets. I didn't hear any of them talking about any type of people of color. I heard them say something about, you have done me wrong. He said Nick. They said Nick. I couldn't catch what they were saying in the video. You get older, your hearing goes, then your sight goes. I think your sight goes first. And then you're hearing, but they said, you've done me wrong. And then, they were doing a hanging. They weren't doing a lynching. They were doing a hanging. And whites were hung back then too. So I think the racist thing is out on that. I don't think Jimmy John's employees were being racist. I think they were just being silly, doing a hanging. And anybody could have been hung back in the Old West. The downside is they were doing it with bread dough in a sandwich shop or a sub shop in a food industry by handling the food that's probably going to be served to customers. And let's say they say, well, they didn't serve it to the customers. No, they threw it out. So they threw company product out after handling it inappropriately. Boy, I bet the franchisee's happy about that, having to order more bread dough. And if not, if they did use it, some of you ate that bread dough. Some of you ate sandwiches from that sandwich shop after they had it all around their neck and shit, sweaty and all that, and you ate it. And, pretty good sandwich. Tastes kind of salty. But if they threw it out, they wasted company product, and they owe that franchisee some money. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section below. Happy Tuesday.